Rick and Morty season 8 premiered, and I completely forgot about it. I had no idea that this was happening. So here it is. It didn't record for me. I was watching on TV and it didn't record. So yeah, I completely forgot until I woke up this morning and I saw people talk about it. I'm like, oh wait, that did happen, didn't it? So here we go. Season 8, Episode 1. This will be a weekly review series. I'm going to be weekly dropping this. I did this before with Rick and Morty, so we're going to do it again. I think it was Season 6, I did weekly episodes, and Season 7 was entirely all just one big video. I'm going to go back to weeklies for Season 8, and that's probably what I'm going to do now for Rick and Morty from now on. So, we start off with I think, quite a fun episode. So, Rick wants to teach Morty and Summer a lesson from stealing his phone charger, so he puts them in the Matrix, where everything is all about phone chargers. They live in like Chargonia and all that type of stuff. Chargentina, the Phonopines, right? Like it's all about phones and charging. And pretty much the message is, don't steal my phone charger, you... right? Like, don't steal my phone charger. This is Rick trying to teach them a message in the Rick way. And we know the Rick way is never actually the right way to do it. But Morty and Summer are left in there a lot longer than he probably intended, because, you know, this is Rick. He forgot about them. So Summer is like 34, right? And Morty, it's like they both get aged. They both live a life in there. Morty goes to prison, becomes a firefighter, then fights in the war. Summer becomes a tech CEO who like creates like charging in the air, so you just hold your phone up in the air. You no longer need chargers anymore, you know, stuff like that. And then they come out, and instead of getting mind wiped right away, they want to actually stay the way they are. And this ends up with the problems of the episode, which is Summer and Beth end up as a duo, and Rick and new adult Morty end up as a duo. So pretty much it's like, you know, Rick and Morty are they're fixing Rick's like death race car that he has, while Summer and Beth go and have like makeovers, right? So the whole premise with Summer and Beth is basically enjoy your life while you're young. Don't try and rush into being grown up and all that type of stuff. The best part about being young, and in Summer's case a teenager, is you don't know what's to come. You don't know how rough life will get. So you might as well just enjoy the fun that you have, right? And, you know, Beth is, you know, struggling with, you know, being a middle-aged woman. And also, it also just says, don't live your life full of regrets. Take chances, so that way when you are someone like Beth's age, you don't look back at your younger years and go like, I wish I did this, right? Like, live your life to the fullest. Morty is doesn't really have a message like that. Morty's is just... he's dealing with PTSD from his time in the Matrix, and he wants revenge on the world, so he's going to go to a power plant and cause North America to be entirely uninhabitable, and Rick and Summer have to stop him. It is nice, though. It's a nice Summer and Morty moment in there, even though Summer is very much in the wrong, because a lot of stuff is revealed about what Morty went through in the Matrix was Summer's fault in the first place, and she knew about it and just let it happen to him, and in fact even orchestrated some of it. So yeah, Summer, it's entirely your fault. She's entirely in the wrong. Morty is completely justified in his PTSD at this point. Maybe, you know, actually destroying a power plant and causing North America to be uninhabitable, that's a stretch, but I can understand what he's going through. And Summer, you were in the wrong entirely. But I do like moments with Summer and Morty, showing them just being siblings, like having each other's back and all that type of stuff. I see it all the time with siblings at each other's throats. It's nice to see stuff where siblings like each other, which is something I love, is seeing siblings actually like each other. So having Summer and Morty have a nice moment there at the end was nice. Of course, Rick has to end up saving the day. And it does end with Morty and Summer, of course, getting their minds wiped so we can go back to the status quo. And yeah, real fun. There's a little bit of a stinger where Beth ends up fighting vampires, which, whatever. There is a nice bit where Morty traps Rick into the Matrix, and the whole thing is everyone's like, you really shouldn't put people in Matrixes. And Rick's like, God damn it! You couldn't be more original? You had to just stick me in the Matrix? How freaking fun. So there's that, which is fun. Yeah, it was a nice, fun episode, I have to say. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this episode, Rick and Morty Season 8. We're off to a good start. After we have, at the end of Season 7, ended a lot of story stuff. Like, Rick defeats Rick Prime, got revenge for Beth's death. Not Beth's death, for Beth and Diane's death. We got that done. There's still Evil Morty out there, which I'd like to see tackled a bit more, if we could do a bit more Evil Morty. We did get, like, you know, some Evil Morty backstory. We got the full Evil Morty backstory, which is great. I'd still love a resolution with Evil Morty. Would be nice. But a lot of the threads, the story threads that Rick and Morty was kind of building, kind of are done, bar maybe one more thing with Evil Morty. Which I'm fine with. I'm really fine with. I'm fine if Rick and Morty just goes back to being episodic. That's fine with me. I don't need a big long thread for Rick and Morty. But there we go. That's episode 1. I'm going to give it a maybe an 8 out of 10. Because I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, 8 out of 10. So that's the season premiere. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll see you guys on next week.